Testing, testing, 1, 2. Hello, my name is Troy White. I'm a financial educator and portfolio manager with Hoodoo Financial. Today, we're talking about real estate investment offers. We're going over the various types of offers that you can make and you should make, and when investing in real estate. And so, the key thing there is you want to start your analysis of an investment property by identifying whether it fits this criteria, and that is market value times 70% minus repair costs minus sales costs is equal to the purchase price that you are willing to pay. All right, so that is the best case scenario that you should be looking for. If it gets better than that, that's even obviously better. But that is the formula at which you you should be doing this whole project for free, basically, or with no money. None of your money should be in the deal, and if it is in the deal, it's going to come right back to you at the end if you used market value times 70% minus repair costs minus sales costs to get the purchase price. But that is uh, that's where you start your negotiation. So you're going to first offer them a cash offer, and that cash offer is after repair value times 70% minus repair costs minus sales costs, and that's going to equal the purchase price that you're willing to pay. ARV times 0.70 minus RC minus SC equals PP, purchase price. That's a fast and convenient exit from the property for this individual that's owning it and needs to get out of it for whatever reason. It allows for a quick close because it's the terms that hard money lenders going to look for if they're going to lend you the dollars. And and when you refi the property, this is where the 0.70 comes in. When you refi the property, it's a likelihood that the lender's gonna want somewhere between 20% to 30% of your equity to match their loan to value. So their LTV is going to be 70% or possibly 80%. So if you use the ARV, which is after repair value times 70%, you're already embedding in this deal that when it's time to refi, you should be pulling down 30% in equity. Now subtract the repair costs, as that's what it's going to take you to get to ARV, to after repair value. There's cost to getting it there, and that's the repair cost. So subtract that from the amount, and then the sales cost. If you're going to be using hard money loan specifically, or any sort of a bridge loan, which is a private lender, or just that, a bridge loan, mezzanine loan, these are going to require some sort of payment of interest while you're working on the property. Basically, what I'm saying, the loan don't stop just because you got to fix some things up before you can start collecting rent. And so that's the carrying cost or sales cost. And then if you were using an agent, they're going to want their percent cut for selling and buying and selling the property. So subtract those two. Now, if the person says, "Oh, I can't take that. I can't take that." Well, then hey, are you open to some creative financing? And so, which means they are in the driver's seat. They have some ability to bend, but they don't have to break. And you're compensating them for that willingness to work with you. And so that will be, so for instance, a seller carry. So you want the seller to carry a note for you. So that means the purchase price in this case scenario would be after repair value times 0.85 minus repair costs equals purchase price. And then so from there, that allows them to accept a higher purchase price than another cash investor. A cash investor is going to give them that same cash offer that I mentioned a minute ago, ARV times 70 minus RC minus SC. But I'm offering you more money than another investor would give you. I'm giving you 85% of the ARV, and uh, just pull the repair costs out of that. So, and the seller is going to get cash flow as well because they are receiving um, income. You know, that monthly principal and interest payment that you sending them, or fundamentally you're sending them the interest payment. So this will hopefully be an interest only loan. So you're paying them interest on a monthly basis, and and the you would have given them some sort of a down payment, and which is negotiable, and the interest rate, which is negotiable, and a loan due date, which is negotiable, meaning that's the date where there's a balloon payment of the remainder. You just been paying interest only this full time. So, for instance, let's say it's just a 5 year note, uh, amortized over 30, maybe 40 years. So you're paying interest only um, on that amount that amortized for a long term. But you know that in 5 years, you have a balloon payment of the whole 300,000 or whatever the house it costs. You just been paying them interest this whole time. And now, but those 5 years gave you the time to inject value, meaning remodel the place, get tenants in, start collecting rent that is above the interest that you are paying. And that is also injecting value that will increase the the value of the property, so that when it comes time to cash this guy his balloon payment, then you basically refinance the property to yourself, and you paid off the loan, and you had the equity that you've injected into it. Hopefully, you've already got that 85. I mean that 15% from you. You gave him 85% ARV in the first place, so you've brought it up to the ARV value, and it has already appreciated over these 5 years. So this should be favorable for you in 5 years, and you just been paying interest only. It could be a great deal. And then there's something called lease option and master lease options. Lease option is when you primarily lease the property from the owner, and with the option of purchasing the property. So basically, you're leasing it with for a specified time. Contract to purchase it at a set dollar amount by a set date, with a balloon payment coming due as soon. And so that the option price is the current market value. You can offer them more money in this scenario, again, because you know the you're only getting it under contract. You're leasing it for this time, and in the interim, you want to inject a value, get you a tenant. Same thing you wanted to do with the seller carry, but this is just a different way for you to acquire the property. It's under contract, and the seller can take an option fee. That's 5 to 10K. It's similar to a down payment. Option due date, meaning in 5 years you're going to have to buy this property, but we have this set current market value. So hopefully in 5 years this property has appreciated, and I've injected value. I've even got tenants. I'm even in here collecting excess rent above the amount that I'm leasing it from the seller. So on that 5th year, I should have the should have injected value and gained appreciation and be able to purchase this property with equity from to satisfy the contract of the lease. And then there's another option is that subject to. Subject to is when you assume the existing loan, you catch up on the principal and interest payments that are in arrears, maybe taxes that need to be caught up on, and you can give cash to the seller at closing as an incentive to get this ball moving. The seller is able to fundamentally walk away from the property. The existing loan is caught up on, and the payments can continue on the existing loan. The deed is transferred to the buyer, and the existing loan is paid off when the new buyer refinances or sells the property. And at that point is when they will cash out the seller this other amount that they've agreed upon, whatever 10 G's or so will motivate somebody who's hurting to that you're going to cash them at closing. So that's key components related to identifying the purchase price for a subject to is to identify the existing loan and the terms of the loan, and that's going to help you identify the current equity. You got to determine what the current equity is that will be in the home. That's going to help you identify what's it to you, what's in the deal for you. And then you're going to, if you determine you think you can make some money off of this or potentially refinance it to yourself, sell it to yourself with equity, then you need to identify that current equity, and then what's going to be your exit strategy, how you're going to make this thing solid and be a done deal. And that means you got to identify the out-of-pocket expenses related to that as well, and catching up and fixing it up and so forth. And then factor in, that's how you're going to be able to go backwards and factor in the amount of cash you can give to the seller for you to even make this deal a possibility, and so that you come on top with the new property that you can cash flow. And so those are the offers that you make as a real estate investor when you've dug up a deal and found a motivated seller. It's the various options are going to be dictated to you somewhat as you interview the seller and find out what their real pain points are, what are they really trying to achieve, and maybe there's some room for the creative financing. And often that means they will receive more in way of sale price when the terms are more favorable for the buyer. So, when they are flexible with terms, you can be flexible with price. More rigid they are with the terms, more rigid you are with the price. Because remember, you can always give them MV times 0.70 minus RC minus SC. Take that right now, and you can go to any hard money lender and get that deal paid for. And then you go on down the road as to how you can use the various creative financing strategies to make this deal work for the benefit of both the seller and the investor. So, things for you to consider. Thanks for taking the time to listen. Please like, share, and subscribe, and contact me if you have any questions or are interested in becoming a client. Thanks. Holler.